Welcome then to episode 20. It's been some time, there's been lots going on over the last year. In this episode, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to go and show you all the things that we've been working on last year and all the tools that are available to you right now on our website, all for free. So go and take a have a look and we'll show you and we'll go through them today. Let's get into it. So, as I mentioned before, in this episode, we're going to go through all the things on the website that are available that you can use right now. It's something that's growing over time and it's developing, but basically they're useful resources, whether you are a teacher, middle leader, senior leader, or anybody else who's interested in behaviour in schools. It's useful. The resources are all there free. It's on obehave.com. Now, I'll be honest, it's something we've only just set up recently, so if you search for it, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find, but if you do www.obehave.com, hopefully you should be able to come up. It's the SEO search engine stuff needs to be sorted a little bit more, so it might be a little bit difficult to find straight away, but you will find it. I'll put a link in the description anyway, so you can click on it. But basically, you've got this website here. Go to the main page and you've got the site menu here. So if you go to behaviour resources first, I'm just going to talk you through a couple of the resources on there that you can go and find and have a look at. So on the first one, we've got behaviour resources. You've got this explanation of behaviour versus discipline, top 10 tips. We've got new stuff coming later on, starting the new term, seating plans, scripted conversations, all those sort of things. They are on the YouTube channel already. Some of those videos are there. We've also got this book review, so you can click on the book review and it'll take you to different books, ones that I recommend in terms of reading for education. A lot of stuff that we've done is based on some of those books as well in terms of the resources. So again, you can go and have a look at those there. If I just click on that, you'll see it anyway. It'll come up there. So you've got these different books that refer to, and we'll be adding more to that with reviews as we go. So that's something quite useful to have a look at. Then you've got report cards. If you're interested in report cards and how report cards can work, examples, plus you can download our version of our report card, which has additional sort of specific strategies with kind of like SEN descriptors on the left hand side and ideas and strategies that work for those students. So if you have got a student who has additional needs and then maybe on report, it's also there to remind staff to use those strategies, and that's all on that part there on the website again. So then if we just go back one, let's have a look at the next bit. You've got Charlie Taylor's checklist, something we've done on videos before. So there's a whole kind of list of resources there and information on that, plus the episode 2 guide that goes way back to the beginning when we started doing the videos, and some other bits of information there and some stuff that you can download. So again, nice straightforward one there to go to. And then you've got Tutor PowerPoint as well. So if you're interested in Tutor PowerPoint, now I'll talk later on about PowerPoints because I've got resources on here. So PowerPoints and timers and things like that as well. Whilst it's not specifically behaviour, it helps within the classroom dealing with behaviour. So you can use those resources as well. But this is particularly useful for having a Tutor PowerPoint. And again, if you click on the main the PowerPoint logo at the top here, it'll take you can download that and you can have a look at it. So go back to the main menu in here again. So that covers all those things. And then we've got these specific contracts, which basically, if you click on here, there are these 14 different contracts in here that you can use. Not all listed. There will be 14, I should say, because they're not all there at the moment. But if we want to have a look at one of these, let's just go to those a second in our Word documents. So here you have basically one of the contracts. So this is incomplete or missing homework. It's basically got on the left here, so we just ignore that for the second. That's our assemblies, which we'll come on to in a second. We'll talk about assemblies in a minute. But you've basically got these different contracts that students can sign for different issues with behaviour, and it's got strategies there as well. So you can go through that. They basically agree to it, sign to it. You have a conversation. The most important thing about kind of changing the behaviour is this idea that it's an understanding that they need to improve and work on things. And we'll talk about teaching behaviour in a second when we come on to our EDGE curriculum. So all of those contracts will be available on there. They're not all up at the moment, but there will be basically about 14 in the end once they've all been completed, where you can basically go to them, use them, download them, edit them, whatever you like. They're all Word-based, so nice, easy to use from that point of view. So coming back to then our main website, if we go back into the resources here, let's just go to more resources. So basically within here, you've got the behaviour resources that we just looked at. It's a link back to it. We're going to change from the website a little bit later. And then the assembly files, we'll talk about that because I'll show you that Word document again. Within the assembly files, you've got values, you've got months of the year. So if we click on values, again, you can click on any of these. So it's like honesty, click on honesty, and it'll take you to ideas and examples of websites. We're currently working on putting together videos for each of these. So if you just want a video to play from YouTube, you can do that as well for an assembly. So it might save you a little bit of time, and we'll probably incorporate PowerPoints into it at some point. But again, there's a whole list of different values that you can use there. We are currently working through, if I just go back a second. So let's go back to there. Go to the assembly files. There is a link from there as well in terms of you can click to go to the assembly files from the other one. You've got months of the year. We are working through these at the moment, a little bit behind on those because we've been doing lots of other resources. So they're a little bit out of date, but they are within the main document, which you'll be able to go to. So if we go back to our Word document, what you can actually do is you can also then download the assemblies document here. It's a Word document. Within that, you've basically got all the different values. So if you want, for example, responsibility, you can just click on that responsibility within the menu there, and it'll take you straight to that page. Each one is set up in a specific style. So you've got introduction, then you've got what does the value mean, examples of the value, why do we need this value, examples of how this value can help or apply to us on a daily basis. And then we've got kind of like a final thought on the value and then a conclusion or takeaway. And that works for every single one of those values. You can go through, use them all. They're all linked to each ones. By all means, you might want to expand on them. You might want to change them, adapt them, but they're all there and all resourced in terms of the information. And then we've also got the months of the year. And then you've got this extra section at the bottom here where I've added in things that I use on a daily basis. Remember, these are all resources that I use and part of my supporting my school and previous schools with behaviour. So whether it's things like the hero's journey, the Make Your Bed, again, really linked to the book on that, and there's a YouTube clip as well. There's the one on procrastination and the procrastination monkey. So lots and lots of different ideas there. Again, you can use any of these, anti-bullying, all sorts of stuff. Butterfly effect, some really good ideas, and then links to TED Talks as well, which are well worth looking into. That resource will be up there as well on the website for you to have a look at and to download and use. Again, we're adding to this all the time, so do come back and check it because you might find that this list expands and we'll add more to it as we go. But they are available, and as I said before, they are all free to download, at least at the moment anyway. Long term, we might change that, but at the moment, they are free to use and download. So let's go back to our website again. Back on the website, let's look at the menu. So go to the more resources. You've got our podcast. Okay, so each of the episodes that we produce, we are on episode 20 at the moment. They are all here as well, but obviously you can subscribe to that and help us out in terms of supporting the channel for all those resources. As I said, they are free. So you can link there to all of the different videos that we've done, so you can go back and have a look. So let's just go back there for a second. And then you've got the role of the form tutor. That's a really big one in terms of the work that needs to be done to basically get tutors to fulfill their role. We'll talk about some resources on that in a second. But basically, I've created a whole app to support that. So you've got these examples here of lead by example, establish clear expectations and things in terms of information for them to use. But then you've got this app as well. Now, if I take you into, here we go. So let's find the right one. Role of the tutor, which is this one here, basically created them in Genially. It's a great resource if you ever want to use something for making online presentations. But within this Genially, basically what you've got is this app that I've made that you can kind of click on and use to support being a tutor. So the idea behind this is that tutors then can use this to support them to be the best tutor that they can. And it's got lots of information into it. So you just click on the start button at the bottom here, and then you've got all this information. Click on each one for audio. So as you go through that, it will actually, if you click on the audio at the bottom, play the audio. He says, so here. Okay, it's because I've got the sound switched off on there at the moment. But basically, you've got all these different ones that you can click on and use to support with the tutors and how to be the best form tutor they can be. Then you've got things like the start of the year, daily responsibilities, weekly, monthly tasks. So if you click on these, it will give you an idea. So behaviour follow-ups, detentions, reports, passport to learning, if you have those type of contracts, parent contracts. So again, it talks about what it is, how to use it. Then you can just click and go back. homework checks, if that's something that you do within your school. But again, emails home, things like that, explanations, what it is, why do we have it, what's the impact does it have. Okay, so lots and lots of information there in terms of that resource for form tutors. And again, if you want to go back, you just click back on the menu and go back into here, and then you've got creating a positive ethos. And again, so lead by example, some examples here, demonstrating behaviours, attitudes and values you want to see. So it's really good for form tutors if you want to use that resource. Again, it's linked to that page. So if I just close that one down and there, go back into here. So that's in the role of the form tutor. We've also got one for the head of year. We've got whole videos and information on use of AI, educational escape rooms, tech tip for teachers. So if there's something you're interested in, there's videos in here as well that you can use. And then you've got team building as well at the bottom with more resources in there. Now, one of the things that you can use as well in here, if I just take you through to make the call, there's a link to how to be a good teacher. And basically making phone calls home is an essential part of being a good teacher and dealing with behaviour. So you can again go to this app that I've created. You can just download it. You can send it to your phone. So you can have it readily available on an iPad, things like that. And you click on it and basically you can go into this and talk about preparation and how to make calls home. So the preparation phase here, you've got student information, and again it talks you through the whole thing. If you want to go back at any point, you just click to go back. So student information, it will take you through it. You can go to academic records, so things like have you got all the information before you make the call home. Analyze behaviour reports, again, so information there, attendance, classroom behaviour, make sure you've got information. Review conduct, review previous parent communications. So if you've got logs of calls that have already been made, any issues that have already been raised, read up on those and things like that. So again, the whole of this app just talks you through about how to prepare for that and make sure you're ready to deal with those parents. And there's a little reminder at the moment, always seek advice about any call involving a student that has safeguarding concerns or is looked after. So just ask if you're not sure. It's got those kind of reminders there. And then there's got these 3 buttons at the bottom where you can go back to planning the call, making the call. It's at the bottom here. Just click on that when it comes up. So opening lines, again, to like kind of scripted conversations here to help. So phrases and things in there, that's quite handy. That's quite useful. In terms of being able to use that. So there we go. Just take that back a second. Hold on, there we go. Just click on here. There we go. It's just where I've got my screen set up. So then we can go to following up the call afterwards. So document the call, send an email summary, and monitor student progress. All those sort of things that you do at the end of the call just to make sure that it's documented. So that's in there as well for you to use. So powerful resource. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is new. It's something that we're building this year. It's not available just yet, but it will be available shortly, is our Edge curriculum, which is here. So you've got this intro to Edge, which I'm not going to play because it'll go really, really loud, but I'm just going to take you into this for a second. And in here is our Edge menu. Now, this is based on lots of different books and resources, but essentially it's a curriculum to teach behaviour. Under the new kind of framework that hasn't yet been approved, but will probably be approved, is it's kind of really explicit about how we are teaching students behaviour in schools. And what I've done is basically designed a curriculum. It's something I've done before, something I'm building on. It's nothing new. I've always talked about teaching behaviour, this idea that you don't just say to someone, make a cake, you've got to give them the instructions, give them the ingredients, talk them through, guide them how to do it. And it's the same thing when it comes to behaviour. So we've got a whole thing on Think, Pair, Share. So you can go to Think, Pair, Share here, and how to use Think, Pair, Share with timers. And then basically on every slide where each of these resources are, you've got these timers that you can click on here for the Think, Pair, Share. I'm going to close that down, otherwise it's going to start beeping in a bit when the timers run out. But what we have got at the moment is, for example, growth mindset. So if you go into growth mindset, you've got a menu here for growth mindset. And within that, basically, you can choose, so what is a growth mindset? Click on that, and it'll take you to the presentation for the growth mindset. And again, it's got the reminder in the beginning for the timers, so you can click on the timers. Now, to reset those timers, you basically just have to go backwards and forwards. and then you can reset the timer. But it basically is there for the think, pair, share activity. So if you want to give them 2 minutes to think, and they say, right, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to kind of share that with somebody else, and then you might want to do like a countdown for 30 seconds at the end to stop them, or to finish up their conversations. Again, it's all there along with explanation within that think, pair, share activity of how to use it. And then as you go through each of these, you've got the whole growth mindset. And it's all focused on discussion work, a bit like PSHE, but the idea is that tutors will go through this in tutor time and use it. They're basically meant to be about half-hour sessions, but again, it depends on how much discussion work you have as part of that. So all those resources are there and will be available once completed. So this is what we've been working on basically all this year. So lots there to look at. There'll be more still to come over time. Please do think about clicking on the website, go and have a look at the resources. If you like it, share it with other people, share it around school, share it with other colleagues. They're all free and available. And if there's anything you can think of, message me. If there's something you'd like, we are working on expanding this. As I said, for the moment, it's all free. Don't know if that's going to change in the next year or so. So by all means, download it, use it as much as possible. Give us some feedback. Let us know how you're getting on with it. But hopefully you'll find it useful. It's all things that I use or am using or will use because that's what I do on a daily basis. So it's not stuff that I'm just creating for the sake of putting it out there. It's stuff that is readily available and used within my school, and stuff that I've used in other schools that I've worked in as well. So please do use it and let us know how you're getting on and give us any feedback. It'll be very much appreciated. Okay, I will catch you in the next one. Thanks very much.